Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? So Chelsea have, of course, announced their involvement in the European Super League. It's happened. I changed the title of my previous video to Chelsea Joins, when of course at the time it was still speculation, although it's seemingly coming to pass. They waited late last night to issue the club statement. Many of the European big teams sort of did it around the same time, late evening. And yes, Chelsea have indeed says, that's it, boys. We've joined the rich kids, we've picked up our ball, and we've walked away from the poor kids. I want to get into it a little bit more today and explain ramifications a little bit clearer. There's so much snaky stuff going on here, it's unreal. Andrea Agnelli, right? The big dog at Juve, chairman of the ECA, the European Clubs Association, a body that looks after hundreds of European clubs that has been immediately devalued because the big European clubs have, of course, all immediately left. They will leave, they'll be kicked out of UEFA almost certainly, completely, all to join their special little closed shop Friends Club. This, of course, is the European Super League, headed by Florentino Perez of Real Madrid, and of course, man, he's like, I want to like cry and I feel sick, man. He's like, it doesn't make it's no surprise, this guy. He's a lover of money and Galacticos, big names and big branding and business, and it's been a long time coming, this Super League. I was just listening to something that reminded me, only recently, in recent years, it was going to be called like the Phoenix Project, and the old firm teams of Celtic and Rangers were going to be allowed in potentially, or something like that. Do you remember that? So there's always talk of these independent leagues breaking away. Anyway, the European Super League, it's got its own website now. You can check it out if you want to feel sad and sick. Headed by Florentino Perez, like I said. His vice chairman, Joel Glazer. And Andrea Agnelli, of course, the guy who's meant to be representing in the ECA, who of course will be immediately ejected. This is so snaky, it's so dark and shady. People are talking out different sides of their mouths constantly throughout this process, only recently, committing to UEFA, this, that and the other, while snaking this in the background and immediately coming out with it. Football is on its knees, dying. You got Man United not like waiting and not doing a statement while Man City do it, and Joel Glazer of one of the killers of Manchester United, a great historic club, is like making statements are being released on Man City's website. Do you know what I mean? Like, people don't realise what's going on. The soul has literally gone. The illustrious European Cup, the Champions League, with Chelsea, the only team in London with a European Cup. Give it a couple of years, West Ham will have two. They'll have two more. We'll be expelled from the Champions League. West Ham, probably the best team in London after, the team's gone into the European Super League. They'll have a chance to lift the Champions League trophy. Not us. We might not even have a chance to finish this season in the Champions League. And there's 2 games left, winnable games. A historic, beautiful trophy. Big, beautiful trophy. An illustrious history that means something. For what? To go and have the potential to win an absolutely meaningless closed shop trophy. What the fuck? What was that? Arsenal and Tottenham fans, there's people saying how they got into this league, European Super League, guaranteed money. It's just branding. It's obviously the clubs and the teams are awful at the moment, but they're branding and signing deals and ownerships, selling their souls. That's why they're in it. Chelsea are in with that now. That's it. This is what we are. This is what we do. All European illustrious glory has gone. Arsenal fans would be like, wow, well now we'll never win the Champions League. Not that they were close to recently, but they'll never win it. But then again, the Champions League will inherently be devalued because loads of, weaker teams will be in there, and that's unfair, but like, less historic teams will be in there winning it and stuff, so that it will be devalued in many ways, and like I said, it will be probably teams like West Ham or whatever winning it, or, whatever, Roma, Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a good big historical team, I suppose you could say. The same for West Ham in some ways. But do you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying here? The Champions League will be done. You know, gone. And there'll be some plastic little trophy from the European Super League that you could win and mean nothing. Now, apparently there's players and managers have been kept in the dark. They don't know. Obviously, FIFA have come out, UEFA have come out, I read it. If you haven't seen my reaction video yesterday, go and watch that. The governing bodies, the leagues are obviously appalled, and they are threatening to do all sorts, kick them out of the leagues, obviously Champions League, Europa League, kick them out of all domestic competitions, so their leagues and their cups, and prevent them from, players from playing international football for their countries. Now, this has obviously got really ugly. It's a power play at its finest. I heard on a podcast this morning, it's one of those, you put one of ours in the hospital, we'll put one of yours in the morgue. And it's sickening, it's dark, it's literally the end of many parts of football, and ultimately, like I said, the dying horse of football might have had its last heartbeat. This is so sad. It's got visions of like Frank Lampard, John Terry, Didier Drogba lifting up the Champions League, and now they're going to have Chelsea chasing some plastic piece of crap. Look, I wanted to take some time and tell you what this might mean. Now, of course, the Premier League brings a lot of money, but this will be the baby of the founding fathers. And remember, 15 of the 20 teams in this Super League will be called the founding fathers, or the founders. Chelsea are one of those. They can't be relegated. They are safe. They own the league. They just make money every season. That's the aim. It's always been the aim, of course, money, but now it's so transparently the aim, they might as well just slap fans around the face and say, we pretended to care, but now we can't even pretend anymore. So yes, it's all about money. We don't really give, a rat's ass about whatever Chelsea means. These owners, they don't own the clubs, but now it feels like they do. They never really owned it. The fans own the clubs, but now the owners have blatantly said, that's it now. That is it. So, closed shop, 15 teams, can't get relegated, make money every single season, and that becomes a priority. And you know what I foresee, what will happen? So say the Premier League continues and they don't kick out the big 6 teams because they can't afford to. They need that, the pulling power, the marketing power, the branding of the big 6 teams. So they keep them in. Say they, I don't know, do some other stuff. I mean, we don't know what will happen. Maybe they kick them out, so stay tuned for that. The Premier League will become secondary. They'll play the kids in this competition. They'll play the B team and keep the Galactico first team for the European Super League, and the Premier League will fade away in terms of its, what viewership, pulling power. We'll be playing, Emerson starting, whatever, do you know what I mean? Or like Giroud will play the Premier League, and then you get all the Galacticos playing midweek, and the Premier League will fizzle away. It might not happen immediately, but this can happen. I can see this happening. Don't be surprised if it happens sooner rather than later. It's friggin' tragic. So I'm just going to read you out a quote from Fabrizio Romano, keeping you up to date from what I know at time of recording. UEFA Executive Committee meeting scheduled for today in Montreal. UEFA, FIFA, Premier League, Liga, Serie A, all on the same position. Super League has been disapproved. No Champions League, no domestic leagues for the 12 clubs. Super League clubs insist they want to play in domestic leagues too. Well, of course they have to insist they want to play in domestic leagues too. If they came out, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Milan, if they said, nah, we don't want to play in our leagues, we don't want to play in the Champions League, we only want to go and play in the super happy, fun, money-making league, that would be, fans would probably burn down their own respective stadia. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how crazy it is. And, I don't know what's going to happen to the game. I don't know. Players must be distraught. These young players that join Chelsea because of the Champions League, because of, the great golden generation, the Premier League, and now they're forced to go and play in some silly Super League with some, because of the fat cats that all, like I said, have just been speaking outside of each of their mouths to different parties, UEFA, the ECA, and then European Super League. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted. I felt so sick in bed last night. I wanted to go to bed early, and I got up early because I couldn't sleep. I had freaking nightmares about this, man. Anyway, I was up in my bed just looking at like just how everyone's distraught. I've never seen football so unified, as in football fandom so unified ever in history, and you have this slight glimmer of hope that maybe we could come together and do something. Maybe the managers, the players, the fans all come together. I mean, I think a lot of stuff's going to come out today. I'm going to make more videos. I'm not happy. I'm not going to put a lot of editing into this. I feel pretty sad for my job, actually, reporting on Chelsea stuff here. But I'm going to keep you guys posted on what seems like the brink of the end of many things. So I apologise if you want more flashy editing and smiles and laughter, but I can't give it to you. You know, and this is like a laugh of despair. Anyway, guys, keep it locked. Cheers.